Thoughts with Professor Wole Soyinka. We asked him what he thought about today's agitation for a separate state called Biafra. Here's how he responded.
I wrote an article, I remember at the time, during the war, and I said, Biafra cannot be defeated. People misunderstood what I was saying. I'm saying that once an idea has taken hold, you cannot destroy that idea. You may destroy the people, the carriers of that idea on the battlefield. Yes, this is known. But ultimately, it's not the end of the story. Otherwise, the Scots would not have gone recently through a process of trying to detach themselves from Great Britain, old as that democracy is. And yet that was taking place in the United Kingdom. So let's not take this position of don't even talk it. Under my watch, this will never happen. Don't say things like that. Go into that environment and ask, what is it that we can do to make you content, to make you happy, to make you feel part of this entity. There is no need. These are the advantages of staying. Listen to some other Biafrans and ask them why they want to stay. This is what we are ready to push as the overall governance authority in this area. But don't go around saying the sovereignty of this nation is indivisible, is non-negotiable. All that kind of language, for me, it only makes matters worse.
Everybody is now talking about we want out, either we want out of Nigeria or we want some Nigerians out of our territory. We want sovereignty, we want out of the union, we have to have this or we leave. We've never had this kind of clamor before. For as far as the North is concerned, we watch this, we worry, because we've been this road before. We know how dangerous it is. The North is not the custodian of Nigerian unity. We have played our role to keep this country together. We'll continue to play our role to keep this country together to the degree that it serves everybody's interest. We see a situation where people single out the North as the only target and the only obstacle to their desire to continue to be outside Nigeria or to be in Nigeria, and we reject that role. We have issues with Nigeria. We have very many problems with Nigeria. We would like to sit with other Nigerians to discuss them if they're willing to. But what you see is as we said in the statement, is the capitulation of responsible opinion. People who should say, when people like Sunday Igboho and irredentists from the southeastern part of the country, or even from the south, when people like that speak glibly about, oh, we want this republic, we want that republic, we don't want to be part of Nigeria. There are supposed to be Nigerians who know the implications of this kind of thing. They should speak up. But unfortunately, they've lost the political ground to minions and upstarts and adventurers. And frankly, to be honest with you, people who are no better than the thugs and the bandits that are terrorizing everybody in this country. Those people are now occupying the center stage, and they're speaking language that scares everybody, including the politicians who have abdicated their responsibilities. And now we're beginning to see politicians who are now aping these upstarts and these adventurers, and just see what is coming out of the Southwest now. This is supposed to be one of the most enlightened part of the country. Quite possibly the region with the biggest stake in the continuation of Nigeria, a enlightened community that has always said it is in the front, it is progressive, it can find solutions to the rest of the country. And the leadership in the Southwest is speaking the same language as the politicians that their ineffective leadership and the ineffective leadership of the country at the center is creating. And this is a real threat. So yes, we are worried about these languages. We know some of them are being targeted at the North. We are quite capable of defending our own interests, and we can speak our own language. But we don't want a situation where the North is adding to some of these rhetorics, because clearly we need to bring down the temperature. We need responsible people to speak. And in our statement, we appealed to the responsible Nigerians, don't yield this country to brigands and lawbreakers and people who are only relevant when they threaten Nigeria. Don't allow it to happen. But it appears as if we might have lost that battle.
Well, Dr. Baba, it may not be true to say that certain voices in the Southwest have not been speaking up. I mean, on this program, I've had to say, well, secession is a different thing from self-determination. While self-determination may be a legitimate thing within a federal context, when you talk about secession, that's an assault on the sovereignty of the country. And some illiterates, have been attacking me on social media. And I also made a point here that there is no proof that there has been a referendum among, the people of the Southwest that they want to secede. However, that's another thing entirely. But what do you think of the whole idea of self-determination as different from secession? And then I don't think it's also right to make the North look like a victim, as you put it across. FUNAM, a group called the Fulani National Movement, they came out and they said they were responsible for the attack. While we have people like you who say, yes, Nigeria, must remain the way it is, there are also other people, other forces. What is the Northern leadership itself doing to rein in such people who are perpetually, attacking and provoking that resistance to the North?
Let me correct you, Doctor. First of all, we never said Nigeria must remain as it is. The North wants a different Nigeria. The North wants Nigeria to address its weaknesses, its challenges, its problems. Nobody is happy with the way Nigeria is. Our security is not working. Our economy is not working. The way we live with each other is not working. We do not want to keep Nigeria the way it is. It doesn't serve the North. In fact, we are greater victims of what Nigeria is today than any other part of the country. They may not believe this, but we are Northerners, we know the situation. That's one. Two, regarding the statement by a group called FUNA, I mean, my reaction would be, please find these people and bring them. In the name of God, find these people and bring them. Until you do that, it's, as far as we're concerned, there's words that are printed on a piece of paper, and anybody can claim responsibility for that. But we would love these people to be arrested, to be paraded, and to be identified as Fulani, people who are genuinely said, yes, we're fighting. And find this Funa, whatever they are, and bring them. We do not want to protect any Fulani who is a criminal. Now, the third point you raise is all these distinctions about self-determination, secession, sovereignty. I was smiling on my way to your studio this morning when I saw a comment by someone from, I think from Ondo State, who say, no, we don't want secession, we want sovereignty for our people. I mean, the sad thing about this is that this is how low the debate has descended. It's very sad, and you have the Yoruba are supposed to be the most intellectually sophisticated community in this country, and you don't have anybody who will come out to actually say to people, be careful, this is not words that you just take from the streets and start bandying around. What is the distinction between sovereignty and self-determination? What does self-determination mean? There are people who talk about the Yoruba nation. There are people who say we want out of Nigeria completely. There are people who say, no, we want self-determination. Everybody wants self-determination. A federation is actually an expression of self-determination. It says there will be one nation with units and sections where substantially the people in that place have some power to determine how they want to live. At the same time, they are also agreeing to live in a country. That's what a federation is. Now, we want to lose our federation? Let's talk about it. But this tendency for people to say, we want it our way or nothing else, is very dangerous to them and to the rest of the country. If Nigerians cannot agree on a definition of what we want to go forward, if Nigerians think that threatening each other or threatening some abstract country called Nigeria, and it is not abstract, it's our country, it's your country, what happens in Olu affects the people in Zamfara. What happens in Katsina affects the people in Akure. That is the simple truth. We don't want to accept this, but that is the truth. This is one country. To the degree that we're still one country, anybody who offers a solution that threatens somebody else, that is not a solution. That is a threat to him, that is a threat to the person it threatens, and that is a threat to the country. The problem really is that there's a huge vacuum. There's a vacuum around governance. The government is not governing. Governors themselves are not helping the situation by the manner in which they respond. But the biggest vacuum is the vacuum of responsible, honest Nigerians. Now, I would like to say this, even though it may sound a bit arrogant, but the Northern Elders Forum has been consistent, has been responsible. We've offered opinions that are consistent with national interest, consistent with Northern interest, and we've always said, and it's in that statement, our hands are stretched. We are willing to talk with anybody. Not because we are in a position of weakness, but because we believe that we should continue to play the role, the responsible role that the North has always played in the protection and projection of the interests of Nigeria. We have no apologies for that, and we're very proud of the role of the North. But we need to do this. Where are the elite? Where are the leaders? Where are the elders? Why are we leaving so much vacuum? Why are we leaving so much space for brigands, for terrorists, for people who terrorize us, if not by gun, but by the way they speak, or by the way they chase away other Nigerians, and they create this tension and this fear? Where are the leaders? Where are the responsible people? That's really where Nigeria is hurting. The truth is that there's enough on the ground to question the efficacy and the legitimacy of the Nigerian state in terms of its commitment to protect us, to improve the way we deal with each other, to shield the country from abuse. There is. The way to go about it is, I think, that we need to talk to each other. There are enough Nigerians of goodwill. They're being scared. Most of them are being scared to say anything. Most of them think that they can weather this storm, and they won't. We can reach out. From the Northern Elders Forum's point of view, we are talking to other groups from other parts of the country. We are always talking to other groups. And we want to see if we can re-engineer some kind of an arrangement and a consensus between us and other groups in the other parts of the country on the basis of mutual respect and a recognition of the fact that no part of this country is going to get any advantage of another part of the country just simply because that is what it wants. You can't do that. And then we want to talk about restructuring. We want to talk about amendments to the Constitution. The problem is, and we've said this before, people who think that the solution lies in the National Assembly, I think are mistaken. The National Assembly is made up of people that we sent to the National Assembly. We ask them to go there and represent our interests. They have drawn a line around what is our national interest, what is our interest, and what is their interest. It doesn't appear to be their interest that they can actually exercise a decisive amendment to the Constitution to the point where it addresses at least the most minimum requirement. How do you address the issue of security?
The truth is finally out. Now that the Finnish government has declared the CDS of Nigeria, Musa, a terrorist now, what is the next phase of the lie? What lies can the government tell Nigerians? Now that Samonepa is no longer in the picture, because it has always been pictured that Samonepa is the cause of insurgency in Southeast, and now that insurgency has stopped in Southeast, and now that the Finnish government has vindicated Samonepa, that those sponsoring insecurity and terrorists in the country are those some persons in the military. Now, where would CDS Musa bury his shame? Because a group of people are saying we want to exit the country. Because the Igbos are saying they are tired of the contraption called One Nigeria. That is One Nigeria, it will not work. And then it has not been working. It has been a country full of lies, propaganda, and shame. That has always been how it is from. So I am not surprised that the Finnish government has now come out to say CDS Musa is a terrorist for all the atrocities he has committed. in disguise of pretending to keep one Nigeria, and that one Nigeria has caused a whole lot of catastrophe in the country. Just some days ago, a notorious bandit that was declared wanted was seen in Katsina State with top government officials going for peace talk. Between Mazi Samonepa and that terrorist, who is more deadly? But here we are today. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is still in detention. Kanu is still in detention because of the Igbophobia, of the hate. If Samonepa happens to be from the Fulani extraction, Samonepa would not be a terrorist. I can beat my chest because we've seen Fulani militias that have been given amnesty. We've seen Fulani militias that have been integrated into the society. Now that Finland are waiting to the ICC, Nigeria should immediately hand over CDS Musa for custody, because the French government have done their own findings too, and they've seen that something is pushing under the ground, that this man has a connection with these Fulanis, has a connection with these bandits, has a connection with these terrorists. So if they are sincere, they should hand over CDS Musa to ICC for questioning. Because now that the French government has done their own conclusion, I've seen that CDS Musa himself is not innocent in this. Nigeria cannot pretend as if they are not aware that CDS Musa has been declared wanted by ICC and the Finnish government. No matter how they tend to die the matter, it is in the social media space. Everybody has seen it, that CDS Musa has been declared wanted by ICC and the Finnish government. No matter how the Nigerian government want to die this matter, but they are very quick to declare Samonepa and IPOB a terrorist group. Now that the Finnish government and the ICC has declared CDS Musa a terrorist, why is the story not online? Why is the story not flying online? Because they themselves are also part of people championing insecurity and terrorism in the country. And that is why I say that anybody that speaks against the vision of the country, they will do everything possible to take that person off the hook. They will do everything possible for them to take that person off the hook. That is why I see that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been in detention. And the Finnish government, they were so gullible to be used by the Nigerian government. They were just too gullible. Because if they were not gullible, why would a country like Nigeria come to tell you that Samonepa is the one sponsoring insecurity all the way from Finland, and you sit your ass down in Finland and you believe them? But there are some rumors that the envelope also change hand. You know Nigerian story now. You know Nigerian government, that Nigerian government, anything that Nigerian government cannot do to bribe does not exist. I am very sure that the government have bribed the Finnish courts, and that is why I see that Samonepa was wrongfully accused and sentenced. Now that the appeal court is now coming out to reverse all your stuffs. It is now a very clear indication that Samuel Ekpa is innocent of all the charges leveled against him, because the French government has come out to indict CDS Musa, saying that CDS Musa is the major financier of insecurity in Nigeria, and it should be tried by ICC, not just local courts. It should be tried by ICC. Enough of all these presents. We know that this one Nigeria, it can never work. No matter how we tend to rub our heads, no matter how we tend to try to patch things up, that one Nigeria cannot work. And that has always been the current state of Nnamdi Kanu, that one Nigeria would not take us anywhere and that it will not work. Today, the truth is not coming out. The truth is not coming out. Now, the list of people, ICC will publish names of people sponsoring banditry and sponsoring insecurity in Nigeria. Their names will be published. And when that is published, let's see how CDS Musa would escape it. Let's see how CDS Musa would escape the wrath. They have used kangaroo judgments to sentence Samuel Ekpa. But today, the truth is not coming out. The truth is not out. That everybody knows the reason why insecurity is still thriving in Nigeria. And it's just because of one person that claims he is protecting the masses, rather underground, supporting the fight for terrorism. But the question is, how long can we continue to be deceived? How long can we continue to be deceived by the Fulanis? Don't forget that the CDS is a Fulani man. How long can we continue to be deceived by a Fulani man in our own country? And tomorrow you say that Biafra will not exist. Biafra will exist. No matter how you tend to hold it, Biafra would exist the country. No matter how you tend to keep it, Biafra would exist this country. And I am sure that Nnamdi Kanu and Samuel Ekpa will come out strong, no matter how they tend to do all this rubbish. They will come out strong. If today is the first time of coming across this channel, please kindly like this video, share it, comment for more political discourse. Thank you.